So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to analyze your YouTube metrics. So if you're a business person basically using YouTube to scale your business, get more clients, this video is exactly for you. So I'm gonna walk you through like all the different metrics. I'm gonna show you how to actually analyze them. Now, the first thing we need to understand before we start actually analyzing all of those different metrics is that we always need to look at a bigger picture. So big mistake that I see a lot of people are making is they just go ahead and like they look at their click rate, they see it's at like 3% and they say, oh, my click rate is so low, I need to do something to, to increase that. But they don't look at a full scale picture. And what I mean by that is that when we're analyzing the metrics, we also need to look at how many impressions the video actually got, how many views we actually got from that impressions, how many leads or calls booked we were able to generate with this one video. Because if we just look at one metric, which is a click rate, we can see that it's at 3% and the video is bad and we need to do something about it. But it might actually turn out that this video is, generated 10,000 views, and from those 10,000 views we were able to make 100 sales at like 5k each, meaning we made literally like $500,000 from a single YouTube video. So that's one thing I needed to mention before we actually start analyzing these metrics. So I just opened up metrics from one of the videos on one of the channels we manage, and basically here I just want to show you like the video was published at December 6th, so it's up for already 10 days when I'm recording this, and I just want to walk you through like the analytics and how to properly analyze them. So the first thing we need to look at is those most important YouTube metrics. So aside of looking at maybe the numbers of calls we got from this one video, maybe the number of sales we made, the link clicks, like what is the most important thing here, just looking at the YouTube metrics, because that's what this video is about. We're gonna analyze it one by one. Firstly, we look at the views. We see the views are more than usual. You can see on that graph here that the videos definitely perform better. Typical video in this period was at around like 20 to 38,000 views, and here we have 48,000 already after this initial 10 days. The video also brought in around like 3.4 thousand watch hours. So here we can just go and like see how it performs compared to our other videos, and it brought 490 subscribers. So with pretty good result, as you can see, we are converting around 1% of viewers into actual subscribers, and that's really, really great. Now, right now, YouTube actually gives you a lot of data. You can just go ahead here and you can see like what's going on and see what causes, maybe getting more views, why we have higher click rate here. Like it literally gives you the data, but we're not gonna focus on that. I wanted to scroll down here because here you can see how viewers found this video. So first thing that we can see is like the traffic sources, because we got 38,000 views, but like as you can see, like those views are not coming from just one specific place on YouTube. We got around 14% coming from external traffic sources, which might be sharing that video to an email list, which might be sharing it on social media, and that results in actually 7,000 views here. It might be channel pages, 4.8%. It might be YouTube search, in this case it's 3.6%. Now it might be other sources, so we don't even know specifically like what those sources are. It's around 5,000 views here, but the main source is YouTube recommendations. What that means is basically that YouTube is promoting our content, and here you can also see YouTube Home. Basically, if you go to YouTube, open up YouTube now, you'll see like around 8 to 10 videos, I think, and then it can recommend those videos, and that's basically what this traffic source is. Or App Next. So basically that's when you're watching one video and on the other side you have like next videos that you can go ahead and watch. So that's basically how viewers find our videos. Now why is it important is because here we can see whether viewers are actually coming from the algorithm or whether they are coming from YouTube search, or maybe it's us sharing that content to our email list that caused the viewers to come to our video. So that's why we need to analyze this first. Now once we analyze this, what we can see is also like the real-time performance, but I'm not gonna go into that because it's not the most important thing. So here we can go to reach, and what reach shows us is basically that right now the video got 518,000 impressions. What is an impression? It's basically when YouTube shows our thumbnail and the title somewhere on YouTube. It might be from search results, it might be through YouTube recommending our content, but that someone just saw this, even if they didn't pay attention, like it was shown to them on their feed. And then impressions click rate. Why is the metric is really important? I'm going to talk about two most important metrics, and one being click rate, second being average view duration, or like the audience retention. We're going to get into that in a second. But here's why click rate is so important. Firstly, because this is literally the number of people that saw the thumbnail and the title and then decided to actually click on that video and then see our content. And that's why the higher the click rate, like the more views you end up getting from those impressions. So here you can see that from 518,000 impressions, we had 5.5% click rate, which is really good. With our clients, we always like to aim at around 5 to 6%. I'm going to tell you in a second why we don't want the click rates to be too high. And then, that generated 48,000 views. You might say it doesn't really add up here, just because sometimes when people go from like an external source, for example, like they don't count probably as an impression in the first place. You can also see unique viewers here, and why is it even important is because here you can see whether people come back to your videos and like they are watching it once once again, or if they just came here, you know, once and we watched the content and that's it. So going back to that click rate, you know, you can see it's at like 5.5%. Now again, we always need to analyze it in the bigger picture. So if it would be 3%, but the video would be at like 200,000 views, now we don't care about that. We don't care about that number being lower. Maybe there's some things we could do to increase that number, you know, like change the title a bit, try out new thumbnails. At the same time, sometimes that's completely normal that the click rate might drop when the video is getting more and more people. Like when it's reaching more people, more impressions, the click rate might drop because it's just going to be shown to wider audience, people that maybe never even saw your content. So that's why it might be normal. And if you're just starting out, you might see that on some of your videos, you might even get 10% click rate, 20% click rate. But usually that means that you're not getting as many impressions and you're not getting as many views. And that's why that click rate is so big. That's why I'm always saying to our clients that we aim at around 5 to 6%. So here 5.5 is exactly in the middle. Now here you can also see like how viewers find your video, but that's something that we already covered. Like we went into that, you know, here you can see your thumbnail test results. So basically when you're doing A/B testing of the thumbnails, you can then see the results of that A/B testing. Like what's the watch time share here? As you can see in this test, we don't really have a clear winner. You can see that the difference between the best performing one and the worst is literally just 1%. But sometimes you might see that the winner is quite clear, and that's why we always A/B test thumbnails with our clients. Here's the visualization of what I meant, you know, like the impressions and the views, is that we got 508,000 impressions from that 5.5% click rate, and then views from impressions are at 28,000 right now. And you can also see like what's the watch time at the end, so it's 2.4%. So here's kind of like this funnel of the impressions and then how they led to watch time, as you can see here. Now here you can also see the breakdowns of specific traffic sources. So if, for example, like we have one traffic source being external, here you can see what that even means. Like what are those external traffics where people came from? And interestingly enough, like on this video, it's Google search. So 92% of that 14.6% here is literally just people coming from the Google search, which is really interesting to see. There's Gmail, WhatsApp, Facebook, you know, as you can see, but it's nothing substantial here. Now we have here content suggesting this video, which is around like 10.4%. And here you can see what different videos that you have led to basically this, you know, this proportion of traffic. Now you can see also it's not significant because it just spread across so many videos that it doesn't really give us that much data. You can also see like what YouTube search term actually caused that traffic coming from search terms as well. So you can see all of that here, but again, that's not something I want to talk about. Now here we can go into the engagement and see like the average view duration and the watch time. So watch time is looking good here. The average view duration technically is less than usual, but now we need to look at, you know, all the other metrics as well. So like how long actually is this video? So here we can see that the average view duration is technically a bit lower than usual, but again, we need to look at the bigger picture. So how many views we got, how many watch hours, you know, from that we got, how long is the video, all of those different things. But then we can go into like this, like one of my favorites, you know, things in the analytics is that you can see the audience retention. So you can see how people are dropping off throughout the whole video. And here you can always see that we have the biggest drop at the beginning of the video. That's why always when I'm, you know, talking to our clients, I'm saying that you need to go into the topic of the video as soon as possible, like giving value, just because a lot of people are clicking away at the beginning of the video if you make the intro too long. So here at around 30 seconds, we have around 70% of people still watching, which is good. That's what we want to aim at, because in the B2B space, it's really hard to get it to like 80% or so. It might happen with like entertainment content, but in the B2B space, really hard. So even 60 to 70% is already pretty solid. Now, what is more important than this one here, because you will always have people dropping off at the beginning of the video, is to make sure that you can keep their engagement, like keep them engaged in watching the video throughout, you know, the rest of it at the highest possible rate. So even if we have a big drop here, we want to make sure that then we are keeping that line as close to a straight line basically as possible. So here you can see that it's a pretty good video. It's around like 40% or so still here, you know, at the very end, which is solid. Sometimes, you know, you can see the graph looking more like this, which is really bad. Or, you know, like there might be people even coming from the intro section then to like somewhere in the middle. So you might even see graphs looking like this, but you always want to make it, you know, as close to a straight line as possible after this initial drop, which will always happen. So don't worry about that. We also want to be consistent. So sometimes you can see that some people have videos where on their best videos it's like 80%, and on their worst, you know, basically there's this maybe 20% of people still watching at this 30 seconds mark. We try to be as consistent as possible here, because based on these two metrics, really, what do we notice is based on the click rate and the average view duration, the audience retention here, YouTube decides whether the video is interesting and whether it should promote it to more people, because YouTube doesn't really know what's in the video. So they will only decide whether to promote the video to more people or not by looking at this metric. So how many people actually click on the video, because the more people are clicking on that video, the more interesting it probably is. And then how long people watch once they actually click on it, because if YouTube sees that, okay, we see that this retention looks like this, so basically everyone is dropping off and like no one is watching the video until the end, they will think, okay, it's probably boring video, we're not gonna promote it to more people. But if they see that the graph is looking more like this and that the video is getting a lot of watch time, well, a lot of watch hours, they will promote it to more people because, you know, they want people to spend more and more time on their platform. So that's why these metrics are so important, because when these metrics are looking good, then YouTube will also promote the video to more people, and because we have a higher click rate, we're going to get more views from those impressions. So this is kind of like this positive feedback loop where your video is going to get more and more views. So those are the most important metrics. Now we can look at like other things, like where does the watch time come from, whether subscribed or not subscribed, age and gender, like top geographics, you know, that's important as well when it comes to analyzing your content and then deciding what to record next. But I wanted to talk more about specific metrics and how to actually read them, how to look at that data and how to make decisions based on it. So thanks so much for watching. If you want me and my team to help you grow a YouTube channel in 2025 or beyond, make sure to go ahead and book a call down below and I can walk you through our process. Or if you're not ready yet, go check out this video where I explain this process a bit more, or can you just check out our website. Again, the link is in the description. Thanks so much for watching and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.